Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Creative Hands by Shay. So in today's tutorial I will be showing you how to make this cute crochet shirt. So this shirt can be worn by a male or female, so it is unisex, and you can make it in any color of your choice. So this is the color that I will be using. This one is Khaki, and the name of this yarn is Golden Sun. It is fine and it is 100% cotton. I recommend using cotton yarn to make this shirt, and also something that is lightweight. So this skein has 50 grams, and I will be listing in the description box and also on the screen more information and all the materials that you'll be needing and the amount of skein that you will need to make this shirt. So guys, let's jump in the video. To begin, you will make a slip knot. Once you make your slip knot, you are going to go ahead and you're going to chain 165. So once I am at my 165 chains, I will meet back with you and I'll show you what to do next. So guys, now I have come to the end of making my 65 chains, and my 165 chains. So the reason why we made so much is because I am making the shirt lengthwise, and it depending on how long you want your shirt to be, you can do your measurement to see how much length that you want. I just want mine to be just on top of the hip area or a little bit above that. So I am just doing mine in this length. So what you're gonna do now is you are gonna yarn over and you're gonna count 1 2 3, and into the 4th stitch you are going to make a double crochet, and that 3 stitch that you skipped, that is going to count as your first double crochet. You're going to continue making double crochet into each and every stitches along until you get to the end. So I'll meet you there. So guys, now I have come to the end of my row and I just did my last stitch, and this is the length of what the shirt is. So from here to there. So for this shirt, it is made up into 5 panels. So the 2 sleeves, the back panel, and the 2 front panels. So I will be making the front panel, and let me just show you, because I went ahead and I made one of the front panels here, and this is what it looks like. So I did put an accent of blue in this part here, but I will list that on the screen. If you want to add another color to it, you can do so. This is optional. You don't have to do so. You can do it in one color. So I will be listing on the screen how many rows I did before I reached to my color. And I also did the same thing for the back panel, which I also made already. So this is what it looks like. So the front panel will match up to this, so it will have this piping stripe on one side of the shirt. So again, this is optional. You don't have to do that. So whatever you do for the back panel, you will do for the front panel. So the same amount that you chain, 165, is the same amount you would chain for the front panel as well. So now moving forward, this is like a 2-row repeat kind of thing, so it's quite easy and to follow. So now you're going to chain up 1 2 3 4 and 5. You're going to turn your work, yarn over, you're going to skip one, well, this one here. This one is not a stitch because this is on top of this one here. This is the first double crochet. So the reason why we chain 5 is because we have our double crochet plus our chain 2. So it's going to be counting from this one here. 1 2 into this one. You are going to go ahead and make a double crochet. So I hope that you're seeing that well. Let me just redo that. So you're gonna skip 1, 2, and then go into this one and make a double crochet. And that is how you're gonna start each row. Chain up 2, skip 2, go into the third and make a double crochet. Continue doing that all the way until you get to the end, and we will just repeat the same first step that we did. So chain 2, skip 2, 1 double crochet into the third. Continue doing that and I'll see you there. There it is. So guys, now I have come to the end. I'm just gonna yarn over. You can either go into the top of this double crochet, or to make it easier you can just go like inside like this and make your double crochet, and there it is. So you're gonna go ahead, chain up 3. So whenever you're doing the rows where you're skipping stitches, you will chain up 5 to begin that row, and whenever you're doing the row which is solid, you will chain up 3, turn your work, and start your next row. So you will put 2 double crochets where you have your chain, where you skip your chain 2, and then you will do 1 on top of the double crochet, and you just continue making double crochets all along. Make sure that you put 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space and 1 on top of the double crochet to make your row solid. So you'll do 1 solid row and 1 row of chain 2, 1 double crochet, skip 2. So you're going to continue doing that all the way until you get to your desired width of your shirt. So I did a total of 56 rows. So make sure when you're making your rows, make sure that it is an even number. So for your front panel, you can have an even number as well. So for my 2 front panels, I will have a total of 28 rows for each panel. So I will put it on the screen so you can follow along, so you won't get confused or mix up, and you will remember what to do. So continue doing that, repeating these 2 rows until you get to your desired width, and I'll be back with you. So guys, now I have come to the end and I'm making my last stitch here, and I have a total of 28 rows for my front panel here. And I think I made a mistake when I was explaining. I think you will get caught up on it, but actually what I was trying to say is that whenever you're finishing this row here, you will chain up 3 and start your next row, which would be your solid row, and whenever you're finishing on the solid row, you will chain up 5 to start this skip row here. So I hope I didn't get you all confused on that. I'll put it on the screen so that you won't make a mistake. So now what I'm going to do is chain 1, and this is what our row looks like. So it's all completed, and I am going to fasten off, and we're going to make our sleeve. So I went ahead and I made 1 sleeve already. I'm just going to lay this aside, and this is what the sleeve look like. You can make your sleeve however long that you're making it, and I did pipe it with the blue as well. So you can make your sleeve as long as you want it to be. So I did about 7 inches long on the sleeve here, and I pipe it with the blue. So I will show you how to count up on your row. So for the sleeve, I make a slip knot, and you will chain 92. So I'm going to chain 92, and once I'm at my 92, I'll meet back with you, and we will just basically be repeating what we did with the front and back panels. So I'll see you there. So guys, now I've come to my 92 chains, and just as we did when we were doing the front and back panel, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th stitch you are going to put 1 double crochet. Continue doing that all the way until the end, and I'll meet you there. So guys, now I have come to the end here, and I am just going to make my last double crochet. Chain up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn your work. You're going to yarn over, and only with the sleeve you will count this as a first stitch here. So this one that our chain of 5 is attached to, you're going to count that as a first stitch. So you're going to skip 1, 2, and to the 3rd one here you're going to put 1 double crochet. So this is only for your sleeve. Chain up 2, skip 2, going to the 3rd, chain up 2, skip 2, going to the 3rd. Continue doing that all the way around until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back there. So guys, now I have come to the end and I have 3 stitches remaining. I'm going to yarn over and go into our last double crochet here. And as I stated before, you can either go inside or you can go on top of that last double crochet. But to make it easy, you can just go inside if it is hard to go into the top. So there it is. So now you are going to go ahead and chain 3 and repeat row 1. So alternating until you get to your desired length for the sleeve. And if you want to put the stripe of the accent of blue in your sleeve, then I'll just put that information on the screen so you will know exactly how much row I did before I put these in. So I'll put that on the screen so you can follow along. So I will see you at the end. I think I did about 20 rows for the sleeve. Oh, let me just count that just to make sure. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Yes, so that's 20 rows that I did for the sleeve. You can do less if you want your sleeves to be shorter. So I'll see you at the end. So guys, now I have come to the end and I'm just making my last double crochets here. And this is what our sleeve looked like so far. So I am just going to chain 1 and fasten off from this color. And then what we're going to do is I am going to move on to my color here. So I want to make sure that I am on the right side here. So I am just going to start it from this side. Well, technically I can't turn the work, so I would have to start here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook into this chain of 3 here in the top, and I'm going to grab my yarn and I'm going to chain 1, 2, and 3. If you had cut off your color, if you're doing it the same exact way as I am doing it, you can just rejoin your color. But if you have not, you can just do it the same way how I just attach it there. So now I am just going to go ahead and make 1 double crochet into each and every stitch until I get to the end, and that's how I'm going to finish off my sleeve. So I'll meet back with you. So guys, now I have come to the end of making my sleeve here, and I'm just going to put my last double crochet. And this is what my sleeve look like when it is open. And I'm just going to do the measurement. So from here to here, it is measuring 14 inches wide. So I am just going to go ahead and fasten off. So I'm just going to chain one and fasten off here. And I'm going to lay it aside for now. And I'm just going to get my shirt. So I went ahead and I placed some stitch markers here so that I can have a better way of sewing my shirt together. So this here, it would be the neckline in here where we will be adding the collar to that part there, so you can see what it looks like. So we're gonna sew from this end to this end here, and from this end to this end here. So we're all gonna do that on the wrong side, to make sure that your wrong side is turning upward towards you and the right side is on the inner part here. So I am just gonna reattach my yarn, and after I'm done sewing each top here, I'm gonna add the sleeve onto that. So I'm just gonna remove this stitch marker. You can use a needle to do this, or you can use your stitch marker. So I'm just gonna go into both part here like that. And I'm gonna chain one, give that a tie, and now that I have my chain one there, I am just gonna go ahead and make 2 double crochets into this part. So this is, sorry, 2 single crochet I should say. So that's 1 and 2, and into, and what you can also do is you can weave in your tail end as you go along if you'd like, or you can do them afterwards. And make sure that your shirt is lining up, so where you can see these holes, make sure that it is lining up with the hole in the back there when you're sewing. And into the double crochet, we are going to put 2 double crochets. Sorry, we're going to put 2 single crochet. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure why I'm saying double crochet, but single crochet. So there, into the chain 2 space, 2 single crochet, and basically just continue doing that all the way until you get to this part here. And once you get there, you're gonna fasten off and do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll meet back with you. So guys, now I have come to the end, and I'm just gonna chain one and fasten off here. And this is what the neckline part here looks like. And from here to here is measuring 6 inches, which I will put out on the screen so that you will know how to measure up your neckline. So sorry for not mentioning that in the first clip, but you will either measure 6 inches, or if you want the necklining to be wider, you can go 8 inches in between this part here. So what I did to get my measurement was to just count my rows. So I have 8 rows back here, counting from these rows. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, and we did our stitching from this part here going backwards, and I did the same thing on this side as well. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on the sleeve part. So you're just gonna open this part up, and this is what the right side looks like. So you're gonna open the shirt like this, and you're gonna place your sleeve on top here, and make sure that your sleeve is on the wrong side as well. So let me just check that. Yes, so this is the right side. Yeah, so you're gonna make sure that it is on the right side, and you're gonna measure up your sleeve. Remember, your sleeve is measured well, depending on whatever size you're making. My sleeve is measured 14 inches, so we want to make sure that it is technically in the center. I'm just kind of eyeballing the sleeve here. Let me just see. Here, yeah, so technically it is actually right where I need it to be. So what I'm going to do is I need to put a stitch marker here, just to make sure that it is right into place. So there it is, and you're just going to sew. You're going to start from any side. So I'm going to start from here, and you can use a stitch marker to mark this one as well, which will technically go into this stitch here. So I am going to start from this part here, just give it a little pinch, fold that up like this, and then you can attach your yarn here. So go into this stitch and into this part here. So I'm going to reattach my yarn. And you're basically just going to do the same kind of stitching as we were doing before. Just basically going into each stitches. Give that a tie, and it's good to weave in your tail end as you work so that you won't have a lot of tail end to weave in afterwards. So I have that one there, and I'm just going to go back into that stitch on both sides and make my first single crochet. And into that chain 2 space, we're just going to go into the stitch on that side and just kind of do your stitching. If it is easier for you to do it with a needle, you can do so. So I'm going to continue doing that all the way until I get to the end on this side, and I'll meet back with you. So guys, now I have come to the end here. I'm just going to chain 1, and this is what the sleeve looks like so far when it is attached. This is the right side, and I did went ahead and I attached my other sleeve as well, so you can see it there. So I am going to fasten off here, and we're going to reattach our yarn from the end of the sleeve here, and we're going to sew from that end here, go right down to the end of the shirt on the side. So we're going to sew, go down to the end. If you want to leave a little bit of opening here, you can do so, as I will be doing that. So we're gonna sew until we get down to probably about 2 inches or so, and I will stop there. So I'm gonna reattach my yarn, And again, you can do this with a needle if you don't want to do it with your darning needle. Just gonna give it a tie. And you can weave the tail ends in as you go along. So just as we were doing before, making single crochets into 2 single crochets in the double crochet here. So on each double crochet you will make 2 single crochets. Let me just redo that so I can get this tail end. So I'm going to continue doing this all the way to the end as I just showed you, and I will meet back with you. So I'll see you there. So guys, now I have come to the end of sewing the side of my shirt, and you can see that they are matching up with the opening area on the side of each panel. And that is sewed from here, well, from the sleeve on to the bottom here. So I'm just gonna fasten off, and I'm gonna show you what the shirt looks like so far. So far this is what the shirt looks like, and I'm loving the way how it is coming together, so you can see. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to fold this over on the right side so you can see how nicely sewed that is. And we're going to add some rows on the inner part of our shirt because we're going to work on the button area. So I will be putting some single crochets on both sides. So I'm going to start off with either one of the sides, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to start with the top part here. And attach my yarn. So once I attach my yarn, I will be making some single crochets. I'm just going to give it as a tie. So I'm going to go into the chain 2 space and I'm going to put 2 single crochets there. So that's 1 and 2, and where we have our double crochet we are going to put 1 single crochet there. So you're just going to continue doing that all the way until you get to the end. Once you get to the end, you will chain 1 and you will start another row. So I will let you know how many rows that I will be doing so that you will be able to follow along. So I'm going to continue doing this and I'll meet back with you. So guys, now I am back up to the top and I'm just going to chain 1, and I did a total of 4 rows. So now we're going to work on the buttonhole area. So I am going to work down again until I get to 4 inches down from the top here. So this is the top of the shirt. So 4 inches from here, and once I reach the 4 inches, that's where I am going to start making my first buttonhole. So I will meet back with you once I am there. So just continue making single crochets until you get to 4 inches down, and I'll meet with you. So guys, now I am at 4 inches down, and I'm just going to do the measurement so you can see. So from here to here is 4 inches down, And now it's going to depend on the type of button that you are using. So you will chain like about chain 1 and 2, and you will skip 2 and go into the third. But if the button is bigger than this spacing and you don't want your buttonhole to be too loose, so this is the size button that I am using. So I think, let me just do it here. I think I'm gonna go to about chain 3 and skip 3 chains. So 1 2 3, skip 3 and go into the 4th stitch and make a single crochet. And I think the button should be able to go into this space. And then after that, you're going to measure 3.5 inches or 3 inches in between here from this buttonhole to the next. So once I am at the next one, I will meet back with you. So guys, now I have reached to my next buttonhole area here, and I did a total of 21 stitches in between here. So now I am going to chain up 3, 1 2 and 3, skip 1 2 3, go into the 4th and make my single crochet. So this is exactly 3 inches down from where we did our first buttonhole here. So you're going to continue doing that, measuring, and if you want your buttonhole to be a little bit closer or a little bit further apart, you can just do your measurement and do it however you like it. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll meet you once I get to the end, and I'll see you there. So guys, now I have come down to the end here, and I have all my buttonholes here, and I have a total of 6. Now I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and we are going to work over those buttonholes. So just continue making single crochet, and this will be our final row for this is the, let me just tell you, this is the left side of the shirt. So the buttonholes will be on the left side of the shirt. And that is a total of 6 rows that we did. So 4 rows regular, and then the buttonholes row, and then this final row just to seal it off. Okay, so now we have our buttonhole here. We're just gonna work 3 single crochet, so 3 single crochet there, and then continue doing your single crochets on top of the rest of it. So you're going to continue doing that all the way up, and I'll meet you at the end. So guys, now I have come to the end here. I have 2 stitches remaining, and now I'm going to chain 1 to fasten off. But this is what our buttonhole look like. So you can see them. You can just open them a little bit so you could see. And I'll just leave a little bit of end here. I will be working on the bottom part, so we will have just a little bit more length to the bottom. So I'm just gonna fasten off here, and what we did on this side we will do on the other side, but for the other side you will just do 6 rows of just single crochets. So attach your yarn, and you can start, I'm going to start from the bottom part here and go all the way up and come back down. So guys, now I have come to the end of making my rows, just making my last single crochet, chain one, and then I'm going to fasten off. So that is now completed, and this is what the other row looks like. It's looking a bit curled over, but once I steam iron it, it will be laying nice and flat. So guys, I will be working on the color here. So what I will be doing is I will be doubling the strand because I want the color to be thicker. So what you're gonna do is this section that we add on just now, I am going to skip that part, and I'm going to start my first single crochet right here. So just insert your hook right in the joining of this double crochet, attach your yarn however you feel comfortable, and we're going to weave this tail end in as we go along. So now you are going to go into that double crochet there, and you're going to put 2 single crochet. So that's 1 and 2. Going to the next, and you're going to put 2 single crochet, and you're basically going to just put 2 single crochet into each and every stitch around until you get to the next part here of over the top of the shirt. So remember, we're not working into this part that we added on. So I'm going to continue doing that all the way around, and I'll see you at the end here. So guys, now I have come to my last chain 2 space here, and I'm just putting in my 2 last single crochets, and this is where we end off. So now what you're going to do is you're going to chain up 1, 2, and 3, and that is going to count as your first double crochet. You're going to turn your work, and into that first stitch there where we have our chain of 3, you're going to do an increase. So you're going to put 1 stitch in that, 1 double crochet in that stitch, and then you're going to continue doing double crochet all the way around until you get to the next end, and that's where you're going to put 2 double crochet in the last stitch as well. So I'm going to continue doing this all the way around, and I will see you there. So guys, now I have come to the end, and this is what the color looks like so far. So moving on, I did do my 2 double crochet into the last stitch, so remember to do that. Now you are going to chain up 3, and that is our first double crochet. You're going to turn your work, and this time you won't start into this first stitch, you will start in the second one here. So yarn over, go into the second stitch and make a double crochet, and into each and every stitches around you will just make 1 double crochet. And we are going to go up to about 8 rows, but before you reach your 8th row you will do another increase in row 6. So when you get to row 6, you will repeat what we did in row 1 by making 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So once you chain up your 3, then you will make another one in that same stitch, and then repeat, and then continue doing your double crochet and repeat the same thing on the other side so that your color can be even. So I will see you at the end of row 8. So guys, now I've come to the end of making my collar here, and I did a total of 8 rows as I stated before. So what you can do now is you can either start from here and make some single crochets all the way around to the next part here, but I think I'm gonna leave it as is. If I do think that I want to do that later on, I will do so, but for now I'm just going to chain 1 and fasten off. So this is what the color looked like when you fold it over, and there it is. It is looking super cute and neatly done. If you can see it. So now I actually went ahead and I also put all my buttons on. So remember, as I was saying to you, you should eyeball. Once you put your shirt together, just eyeball where the buttonhole is and then just sew your button on. So that's what I did. So now our shirt is like pretty much done. I am just going to go ahead and work on the bottom part here of the shirt. So let me see, I'm going to start from this end so I can go all the way around. And I'm just going to reattach my yarn, and I'll just use just the one strand here. So I'm going to go in the immediate end here. Chain 1, give it a tie. You can attach your yarn or wherever you feel comfortable. And as I stated, you can sew in your tail end as you go along. So I'm just going to go into, I'm not going to go back into this space because I don't want to have too much of a bulge here. So I'm going to put my first single crochet into this row here. So I hope you can see that well. 2, into the next one, 3, 4, and 5. And remember, once you get into the chain 2 space, you will just put 2 single crochet there, and when you get to the double crochet, you will put 2 single crochet there. You're going to continue doing that all the way until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back there. So guys, what I did for the first part of my panel here, I went ahead and I did 5 rows here, and because I have the split, I could not go around to the end, so I just did a total of 5 rows here. And what I will do is I will do some single crochets, come down from here to here and come all the way back up to this part here. And once I am here, I'll just continue doing my single crochet and then come back, single crochet, come back, single crochet, come back, until I get to my next split here, and I will just do the same thing, single crochet, come down, and then come back up to here, and then finish off on this side here. So let me just do this last single crochet, and then what I'm going to do is to turn, I'm just going to put another single crochet there into that same stitch. So that's 2, and then single crochet into the next row here, single crochet in the next row, single crochet in the next row, single crochet in the next row. And I'm just gonna go like in between the stitches to get a firmer stitch. So I am gonna go into this one here, in between, single crochet, single crochet, and I'm going to continue doing that all the way until I get to the top of the other panel, and I'll meet back with you. So guys, now I have done all my single crochet, so that is nicely cleaned up, and I am just going to go ahead and place one single crochet here into this double crochet and put another single crochet, and basically just repeat the same step again. Once you get to the end here, you will chain one, come back until you get to 5 rows, and then we will continue the same thing as we just did here. So I'll see you at the end. So guys, now I have come to the end and I have my last stitch here remaining, and this is what the end of the tail end of the shirt looks like. So what I plan to do is just to kind of taper it off by just continue doing single crochet all the way sorry, all the way up and to here, all the way around the collar, and back down on the other side as well. So I am just going to continue doing single crochet, and what I'm going to do here is into that same stitch I'm going to put one more single crochet so that it kind of give it a little curve to get around this side here. And now into this stitch I am just going to put one single crochet in the next row here, one single crochet, one single crochet, and I'm going to work over this tail end. So I'm going to go into that stitch, make one single crochet, and continue doing that all the way up until you get to this part here, and I'll meet you back there. So guys, now I am at my last stitch here onto this side. Now I am going to make 2 single crochet in there, so I just made one, and I'm going to make another one to kind of give it that curve so that I can come into this part. And just as we did at the bottom, we're just going to work into the rows. So we actually work into this one here, now we're going into the other, just making one single crochet. And when you get to the edge of here, we're gonna do something similar to that, probably put about 3 stitches in there because that's double crochet. And then the last one in here, so you can see how nicely taped off that is. So now we are going to go into this part here. Let me just redo that. Okay, so we're going to go into the first row here, and then into the double crochet. We're going to kind of go into the edges so that we don't make like a hole. So kind of go into the edges. Let me just redo it. That's one. And just continue doing that all the way up until you get to here. So guys, now I have come to the end here, and I am just gonna make 1, 2, and then the other one into this stitch, and then continue making your single crochet all the way around. And you're basically going to repeat the same thing that you do here on this side and go all the way down. So I'm going to continue making my single crochet, and I'll see you at the end of this this segment here. And then pretty much your shirt is finished once you go over on the other side. So I'll see you there. So guys, now I've come to the end and I have my last stitch here remaining. And this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to fasten off and weave my tail end in. So I didn't chain one because I'm going to do it a different way. So I'm just going to kind of go into these two loops here. And go down into the back loop on this side. So I hope you can see that well. So here, going into this one and then the back loop on this side, and then kind of go underneath the stitch. And there it is. And then I'll just weave in the remaining part. And fasten off. So guys, our shirt is now completed and this is what it looks like. It is looking super neat. I love the way how it actually turned out. So you can see the color on the side where the buttons are. So once you fold it over, it's gonna look like that. So I'm just gonna show it to you. Fold the color over. I'm just gonna do a little steam iron on that so that it lays nice and flat, and there it is. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you found this tutorial enjoyable and easy to follow, please do give this video a like, comment, share, and tell me what you think. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, bye.